Alright, in the woods, near a cabin, there's a princess.
You're here to slay her.
Got it. Alright, I think first things first. At the start of the adventure, I'm going to leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around?
Yes. Do you even know where you're going? I'm going to go to the void. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going, which is the cabin.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Yep. Thank you, kind sir.
Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Well, crud. Turn around again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you?
Yep.
It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Doesn't seem like it. Just quietly continue down the path.
Silence is deafening. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
It really makes it seem like this is pretty much the only thing in this world. And outside of the woods and the cabin, it's just the void. The world's already been destroyed, I think. Oh yeah? Well, I'll start walking in a different direction. In fact, I'm just going to keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this
There's
place.
always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
According to you, no one else will. So it can't be the wrong choice for them.
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Okay, so in each of these is a fragment of the void being thing with all the grippers. Okay, interesting.
Wait, what's going on? You're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Yep.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right?
Hmm?
But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Alright, on to chapter 2 then. The Stranger.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here
Got it.
to slay her.
Yep, okay. Getting deja vu.
Sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
It's like a wall. at the edge of the
If he
woods.
doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience. The entire world ending wasn't enough to get rid of us. I don't think there's much he can do other than object. I wonder what else we can do to ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet. And you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Those walls weren't here last time. You can't just force us to go to the cabin. Lie. Yep, okay, heading to the cabin. Where I'm definitely going to slay that princess. Yeah, I get it. Going to the cabin. Silently proceed. If I can't run away, I'm just staying here in the woods forever. Let's lie. Yep, definitely going to the cabin.
Right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind. The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. It's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
No, I don't think I'm taking it this
If
time.
he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect
Oh.
dust. Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway? No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with.
Don't you, though?
I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You can't just say that, not when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves? Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm. How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine.
Okay, so the contrarian was the one telling us to accept it as it is and go with the flow?
Good.
It's kind of odd.
Now, whenever you're ready, we're
Agreeing with the
all waiting
narrator
for
and
you
all.
to complete a very important task.
Okay, you didn't say anything about the mirror. Approach the mirror. Enter the basement without the knife.
The door to the basement
Ooh.
creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong. And the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. We don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
Yep, exactly. Okay, take the harsh stairs to the left. Take the center. Soft stairs to the right. Let's take the harsh stairs.
You step to the left. The path is cruel against your feet, the impact of each step sending pulsing vibrations up your legs, until there's nothing left in them to feel. The air around you grows cold the further you progress. At first a barely noticeable drop, quickly evolving into a numbing cold. Your toes feel like blocks of ice, your breaths puff out in clouds of condensed vapor. You shudder against it as you continue down the stairway, losing yourself in the bone-deep chill. You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
And then you die.
And betrayal,
Huh, no.
skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity.
Okay, so are those the other
At the heart of it
staircases?
all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Are you just going to stand there?
Oh, my lady.
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems normal.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was here. What's your name? Getting down here was weird. Like I was pulled apart and put back together again. Do you know what happened to me? For all I know, you're locked up down here for a reason. You're apparently a threat to the world. Didn't realize I was here yet.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching you stare at me for a long, long time.
Sorry,
The
lady.
shadows recede, revealing the princess's face. I don't think she likes us. Wouldn't you be skeptical of someone stumbling in here if you were her? We lost ourselves the second we stepped into this place. I don't know how long she's been here, but I can't imagine it would be easy for her to trust anyone. Those eyes, though. They're so sharp. It's just deception. Don't buy into it. You can do this.
It's okay. Don't worry. Sometimes I get lost here too.
But aren't you chained to the wall?
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another. We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time? Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it?
It wasn't anything incredible. Just an infinite field of cabins.
Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way
that's
into
cool.
your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now. Oh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
Yeah, and then kill one. There's more of you now. What's your name? Yeah, there's more of you now.
And what's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to get under my skin? There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago.
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are. How would we even do that? Where would we start? We'd always start by retrieving the blade.
Going back up those stairs? I don't think so, dude.
Can we even leave this place? I don't like thinking about what might happen to us if we have to go back through those stairs. Well, that's where the
Exactly,
blade is.
dude.
If you want it, you'll have to go and get it.
You're the one who wants it. You go get it.
I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her.
That's everything she says. She only multiplies when she
It
speaks.
certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
Getting down here was weird.
What? Like you need me to hold your hand and tell you everything's okay?
Yes,
You're not really
please.
cut out for this, are you? Why are you even here? We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in. Sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you?
Why are these last two just one option? I'm getting you out of here. Try and free her. It's bundled with the last option. I don't know what you are, but I can't trust you. I want to turn her loose.
Wait, that's not right. Go on. Take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone.
Huh. Okay, so it's like everything everywhere all at once. He's seeing all the different possible
Is this
outcomes.
what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... we can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all falls apart. I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and others, they just don't fit. We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable.
Sorry, lady.
Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this.
Don't say that out loud.
You're surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences. It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
I'll do my best. Oh, welcome back, Grippers. But you'll never know if she hears you reply, she's gone. Memory returns.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared. This is the end for you. It's not the end for me. It's going to be okay. Just trust me. Approach the mirror.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that thing.
It's not the end. Whatever's on the other side is going to be nice. It's the end for you, but not for me. I'll see you on the other side. Yeah, I'll see you on the other side.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. You're not messing with us, right?
So long. You approach the mirror. Gaze in. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone. The mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. The bloat trophy. You've grown. You find yourself in the long quiet again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
What does it feel like to change like this?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
Everything you say feels like a riddle. Can you give me a straight answer? The one I met in the woods? How much you've changed? When this is all done, do you know what you want to do? You know, at the end of this, once you've finished, I'm going to kill you. When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before? You've been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Thank you. You've been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Why? What do you want me to bring you next time? Do you have any thoughts on this vessel? I don't want to hurt you, but the more times I go back, the worse I fear things will be. What do you feel about me? These vessels I've been bringing you, I've hurt them. How many more vessels do I need? Enough with all of this. You're not actually saying anything. Ready to go back. Attack. Destroy. Um. Do you have anything to say about this vessel?
These ones are a contradiction, a winding kaleidoscope of paths and wall. They are stretched into a shape not unlike me, but it is a shape they cannot hold. They will make for a rich and vibrant heart. Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves.
When this is all done, what do you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am. What I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Aw. I mean, she seems sweet. This entity. Not the princess exactly. Everything you say feels like a riddle. Met in the woods. Gonna kill ya. You've been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Thank you.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
You're the being I met before. You've changed.
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
You know, you kind of speak in riddles. Let me
I'm
just see what you
sorry.
say about this.
Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything by it. I just wanted.
The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
What do you feel about me? The vessels I've been bringing, I've had to hurt them.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but they are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them you are a gate to something more, but they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
So you don't have any preference on how you'd like to change or grow?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
All right, I'm ready to go back.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
And she smashed me. Rich and vibrant heart trophy. The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
All right. Let's see here. We've been going for half an hour. I've got time to try another. Whoops, no. I meant to.
You're here
Here.
to slay her.
Yes, slay the princess. Got it. The end of the world we're talking about. Get someone else to do this. Forget I'm not doing this. Have you considered maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get a reward?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Let's see here. Can you tell me my prize?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Is it maybe visiting an eldritch abomination in the void? Sweet. I always wanted to offer Monarch. No, I chose that one already. Okay. Thanks for telling me what to do.
It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the... We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save Prince... Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's...
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only blade is your implement.
Let's go in without it.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. Her voice softly.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
I'm here to save you.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
See what I can do. Let me examine the chains.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Nope.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I'm going back upstairs. I'll find something.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Hey, let me
Your
out.
shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You
Try the door.
but it's locked from the outside.
Sorry, lady.
Make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
We're locked in here
This would
with
have
you.
been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising
Ew.
her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
I've only got one option. Save the princess.
Fine.
I was going to choose that anyway if it was an option, but
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh.
oh my gosh.
The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Oh no. Warn her. Warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade.
Resist.
Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She's gonna kill me.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
Probably getting murdered in about 5 seconds.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is...
Well, at least she apologized this time. She didn't actually want to kill
You
me.
aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Or maybe it's an act.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm I'm sorry.
It's okay, lady. It's
She doesn't know
fine.
how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around
I was
you,
still
your
standing?
limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2. The Damsel.
You're on a path in the woods. You're
Yep.
here to slay her.
Yep. Deja vu. Happened already. Okay, no. Dad, what am I doing here?
My
I'm under your tricks.
What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. Sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those
Yep.
are two very different questions, but fine. Let's say for a moment you died last time, which probably only happened because you
Oh,
were the
okay.
one
You
who did
asked
us
him this
in,
before.
villain. Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price. I beg to differ. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind if it's the latter? What do you think happened? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just she would never? She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme. Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
Okay. My theory now is the void creature with all the grippers is one entity and I'm another. The princess is fragments of the void entity. So me, the hero, the smitten, the hunted, the contrarian, all of those guys are fragments of another being that represents me, the player, probably. The narrator is probably also part of that. He's the one that's pushing them to reunite the pieces of the other void creature. Okay. He's the one with the true understanding, and he just wants us to collect all the pieces to fulfill the other entity's wishes. It's my theory, anyway. Okay, I'm going with them. I'm going to find a way to save her. Yeah.
That's right, you can't stop all of us. We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does.
Okay, so I'm thinking all these voices, the hero, the smith, and everything, are just
Are these really
manifestations
the sort of people you'd
of
like to align yourself with?
whatever being
You're not at the cabin yet.
I'm playing
You
as.
still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
Okay. Let's talk about
Just
the
be quick
princess.
about it.
The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was because I let her. She could barely hold a knife. How's she supposed to end the world? Who locked her in there?
People locked her in that
Oh.
ba-
Come here.
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world. Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is. Great. Now, if you don't mind,
Proceed to the cabin.
a warning. Before you go, she will lie.
Yeah.
I already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do. But I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the...
Proceed.
The interior of the cabin
Ooh.
is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Mirror on the wall. Cabin is different. Approach the mirror. Take the blade. This cabin is
Very
different.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life. So focus up.
Enter without the knife again. The mirror changed when the door opened.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
She's got a new
There's
dress,
a heavy
too.
chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right?
Why not?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
So are the other ones like actually literally just voices in my head?
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
These are just my inner thoughts. Okay.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
We have. Many
That's
times.
right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
You killed me last time and it hurt. Why did you do that? Well, you know why she did it. I didn't bring a knife. Do I have to cut you out again? What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
But before we start talking, did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
No, I don't want the world to end. I have no feelings one way or the other. Honestly, the world sucks. People are plague. Hope you brought a slow, painful ruin to them. No, I don't want it to end.
Then I didn't end the world.
Oh. How great.
She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. I'm not so sure.
I didn't bring a knife. 'Cause you kind of used it against me last time.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Sorry about last time. The narrator took control of my body.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
Rescue the princess.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll... You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
What do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I want you to tell me what you want. There must be something you want. Do you want to end the world? Just want to leave. We can figure out the rest later. If you want to leave, let's leave. Yeah.
Sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our... I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
We can open it if we try together.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs and... The blade, that's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. You know, if walking out that door is really going to end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone.
Yeah. And actually, it's exactly what I'm going to do. Because I'm going to save it. And end the video. I'm so sorry. I'm going to leave it on a happy note for now. And we'll pick up and figure out what the future holds for us in the next video. See ya.